welcome to my garage. In this episode I'm looking at the air conditioning compressor on my Suzuki Swift because the one which is fitted does not work, and from the donor car a new one came along, so I thought I wanted to swap them around, and I think this was actually a great opportunity to see what actually fails with an air conditioning compressor. So let's jump into it. So we're all on the same page. This is an air conditioning compressor as it looks like. So we have the in and the outlet of the liquids. And then we have this belt wheel, which is an electromagnetized, a solenoid clutch, you could say. So when you press the air condition button inside the car, this clutch activates and then so the belt can turn this around. And then the pump basically pumps the fluid around, creates high pressure. So, and in many cases, actually, the reason the pump breaks is actually not to the pump, it's actually this clutch. So let's see if this clutch has, how it's supposed to look like, and then let's try and see if this one works. Because I actually have right here a power supply which delivers pretty much the same voltage as a car. Not quite the same amps, but I think it's actually quite okay for this test. So what we will be looking for is if the clutch will click, or we can hear it say something, or physical lock. So this is actually the way Suzuki has done it is actually the compressor only has a supply voltage. That means it is physically connected to ground through the bolt-on to the motor, to the engine block basically. So I'm just gonna, I think I got it. So yeah, so we have a power supply, and then I have my ground connection here. I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit for you guys. So I'm gonna give it some ground now. I'm gonna do it from the other side, I guess that's better. I guess you can hear it, and you can see right now when it's connected, everything turns. I'm gonna release. Now it's only the flywheel. So when I apply a voltage into this solenoid clutch, everything basically turns. So this is the principle of the clutch of an air conditioning compressor. So why don't we try and do the same with the broken one? Here we have this one. So I'm just gonna apply some voltage to this one. All right, I think I got it. And we will connect it to ground. And actually nothing happens to the clutch. However, I can hear my power supply making some noises that I don't really like. So what this tells me is that this, since it is a solenoid, basically windings in a coil, this tells me those have probably been shortened directly to ground, and this is why my power supply starts making a fun noise. It might just as well have blown a fuse. It didn't though. If this is true, then I think we should test the resistance. I'm just gonna take a normal multimeter here and measure the resistance. And what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm just gonna test it, the resistance from the power supply to the ground. And even though I have shaky fingers, I'm gonna do my best anyway. button, you can see 0.0.0. There's absolutely no resistance. So I'm gonna take the known good one, where we have just confirmed that the clutch actually does work. And I'm gonna take the same check again. I'm gonna measure the resistance from ground to supply voltage. And let's see if I can just... And we're actually reading a resistance of approximately 5 ohms, so there is a resistance there. So my guess is that, as I said, the clutch has basically shortened to ground, and that's why it doesn't work. And I'm actually going to check the card to see if it does have blown a fuse. I don't know. But what I do know is that this one works, and I'm going to fit it to the Suzuki and apply some air condition fan or what it is to it, and then hopefully it will work. Hope you enjoyed this little video regarding air conditioning pumps. Stay safe, take care, bye bye. I actually decided not to end the video just like this, because since it were shortened to ground, my prediction were that it had blown a fuse. I think we should try and validate if that's actually true. I have validated though that there is no power at all in the supply voltage line to the compressor. And I did that just with a simple test probe basically, because it can carry some current, it makes a lot of sense, and it's visual for me, easy when I'm underneath the car. But to validate the fuse, I'm actually using a power probe, a very cheap one. And the way it works is, it can also supply a voltage if I want to test any components, but this is not the case right now. Now I just want to see if the fuse has been blown. So it is connected to the battery positive and negative terminal, and the way it works is that if I put it on the positive, it lights up red, and if it's negative, it's gonna be green. And I have already accessed the fuse box panel and found the fuse, which is the air conditioning compressor. It's a 10 amps. And my procedure is, I'm just gonna take another one. I don't really rely on taking the fuse out, looking at it. But when I use the power probe, it's actually quite easy. You can see I'm touching the one side of the fuse and the other, and it lights up. And of course, if there's 12 volt on one side, there should also be on the other side. And now we're looking at the fuse for the compressor, and we have a voltage on the one side, and there's absolutely no on the other side. So there you have it. The clutch to the compressor had indeed made a short to ground, which made the fuse blow simply. So I suspect that when I replace the fuse, I will have a supply voltage once again to the compressor I've just installed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like to see you soon at some other time. Take care. Bye.